Alright, hello everyone, and we're back again with another Battle Redux videos from the Pokemon Draft League that I'm in. This is Season 3, Battle number 2. So last time you probably saw these trainer cards that I popped up showing my trainer cards and the first two draft battles that I was going to be facing against. So the video that I'm showing today is the second one, where we're going to be facing off against Fospora Loco. Rock guitar person there. I forget which one of their types they picked, where they were randomly assigned which one they picked, but they have electric and flying. Now, you might be a little forgiven if you think they got electric and water, based on the Pokemon that you're showing here, but it's actually electric flying. That poor little Lantern, they drafted 7 electric types, so I couldn't put them all on one card. So Lantern comes over to be with Pelipper, Gyarados, and Golbat. Almost looks like electric water, but it's electric flying. Now, as you know, kind of from my Season 1 videos and my previous video, usually I consider Corviknight to be my ace. Someone is coming at me with potentially an entire team of electric-type Pokemon. I'm not going to be using Corviknight in this battle. And then, okay, what do I have to plan on for the threats? Pinchurn is going to be setting up electric terrain, almost certainly. So just, in general, I have to worry about strong electric attacks. And Alolan Raichu is going to get Surge Surfer. I will almost certainly not outspeed Alolan Raichu, so I have to just be prepared to tank whatever it gives me. Dracozolt, can be absolutely terrifying with Bolt Beak, so I do have to worry if it's running a Choice Scarf set of some sort. Rotom-H can do several things. It can be a Choice Tricker. It can just be a Choice Spexer. It can be tanky support. So there's several things there. Pelipper can set Rain, which will help both Gyarados and Lantern. And Gyarados is probably the scariest thing on his team. Because Gyarados obviously is well known to use Dragon Dance. It's got its own Intimidate or Moxie. Either one of those things can spell real trouble to an opponent. And it can run Earthquake, so my Steel type is scared of that. It can run Ice Fang, so my Dragon type is scared of that. So that's probably one of the biggest threats that I'm building towards when I make my team here. Alright, so how are we playing against Fospora Loco? What team do we have here? So first off, leading off here with Hydreigon. It's got Earth Power to deal with the electric types, Charge Beam to deal with the dual water flying types. Also, in theory, can hit Golbat pretty well. This might get absorbed by Lantern, but I can always hit Lantern with Earth Power. And then I've just got Draco Meteor for a nuke. And then Roost for longevity. Yacht Berry there to deal with potential Ice-type attacks coming from the several Water-type Pokemon that he has. Here I've got Aegislash, and Aegislash is a very interesting case. You'll notice I'm running Shadow Ball and Shockwave. Again, Shockwave for the same reason that Hydreigon is running Charge Beam. Now, I did notice doing some of my research, especially when I was first given Steel as my random type, is Aegislash in Monotype formats, oddly, is often a Choice Specs user. Usually with Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, Steel Beam, and then Shadow Sneak for any potential sweeping, even though it's not a special type attack. So you've got a little bit of that reflected with my EV spread, but you notice I've got leftovers in King Shield instead of Choice Specs and another special type attack. I've also got Head Smash here, which is just kind of a coverage move in this case. I don't, because I wanted to. I'm trying to think here. What did I end up? Because, Shadow Ball could potentially hit some of their electric types neutrally. Shockwave would not be great. So Head Smash is just basically there to be a very strong move. And I would have loved to have found a good, strong special type move for Aegislash, but as you go into its movesets, Air Slash isn't going to do much to electric types. Flash Cannon isn't going to do much to electric types. Steel Beam, same thing. Hyper Beam. I could put Hyper Beam in. That was an option. Just as kind of a last-minute nuke, but I chose to do Head Smash instead. I thought it had a little bit more utility, so that's what I went with on that set. Here's one of my favorite kind of odd sets that you're seeing. Klefki with Lagging Tail and Switcheroo. This was, in addition to Thunder Wave trying to slow down Gyarados itself, Switcheroo is there to force even a boosted Gyarados to move last, or to force a Alolan Raichu to move last. And then, of course, I've got Reflected Light Screen, so this Klefki does no damage whatsoever. And I have to keep that in mind as I'm playing. It's just completely there for support. And we've got Duraludon, a Choice Scarf set. Now, I mentioned Choice Specs for Aegislash before. Duraludon Choice Scarf is actually apparently a very good sweeper on monotype dragon teams. And oddly, often runs Thunder Wave and Stealth Rock, even being a Scarf user. I'm normally not one to run choice items. I don't like how it locks you into things. But I'm using Choice Scarf on this Duraludon. I'll use it in some of my future battles. And I did use Choice Specs on Aegislash at one point. So, weird stuff for me. On sets that I'm not experiencing that apparently are more common in monotype, in other words. But in addition to, Thunder Wave to slow things down, again, Thunderbolts to hit Gyarados or Pelipper, Stomping Tantrum to hit any of the electric types. Again, not a special move, so not great, not a good damage output, but it's there. And then Draco Meteor as a nuke again, similar to why Hydreigon has Draco Meteor. Here's Togedemaru. Again, this is almost certainly just there to slow down Gyarados and Pelipper. And, potentially deal with Golbat if it pops up. But Togedemaru on this team has a very niche use. Last and certainly not least is Tyrantrum. And this guy, I think I was hoping to have him pull some weight in this particular matchup. It's got Dragon Dance to set up Earthquake and Head Smash. Earthquake for the electric types and Head Smash for the flying types. Pretty straightforward there. It's got a Lumberry because it's a setup sweeper. It doesn't want to be burned or paralyzed, or put to sleep or frozen, any of those things. And then Substitute, because if someone tries to give me a status and I get a Dragon Dance off, I can then, in theory, put Substitute if they try to do that status move again, and that gives me another free Dragon Dance on the next turn. So those are the thoughts with this team to go up against our electric flying opponent. So let's go into the battles now. We'll go normal at the moment. So the lead off here, he immediately starts off with Gyarados, which, I'm not surprised. It's something that I've done in some battles. Just start off with your setup sweeper, try to hit hard, hit fast, and punch as many holes as you can in your opponent's team. So off the top here, I believe he's expecting a switch, because I bet he doesn't. He's probably thinking my Aegislash does not want to get hit with Earthquake. Because I believe he uses Waterfall on the first turn, but I take advantage of that and use Charge Beam. So he does some damage to me, that's fine. I do Shockwave, not Charge Beam, Shockwave, and do a ton to hit. Of course, now I'm worried. At this point, if I get another Waterfall, it's going to do a huge chunk. I may flinch, or he could use Earthquake. So I'm going to King Shield next turn, which ends up being the correct move, because he comes in with Earthquake. Again, he's just trying to punch holes in my team as quickly as possible. I anticipate another Earthquake and send out Togedemaru with its Air Balloon, and it works. So now, the question is, do I come in with Nuzzle, with Zing Zap, or with U-Turn? Because most of his team, is electric. This Gyarados is the only non-electric type on his team at the moment. So I anticipate he's going to do a switch. And I think of using U-Turn. He does send out the switch. It's a U-Turn. I get hit with a Rocky Helmet. That'll be important later. But so now I've got a Rotom versus my Tyrantrum. And right now I'm thinking, okay, I've set up my Tyrantrum so that it can take one Will-O-Wisp, set up, and then sub and continue setting up. It's a bit surprising. I'm actually faster than the Rotom to begin with. So Lumberry goes off properly, and I get the Substitute off. Which makes sense because I was already faster before using Dragon Dance. And so you'll see there, we have a little discussion there. His oven, especially with the Rocky Helmet there, it makes sense. It's a tanky oven, so it doesn't have the speed investment, and it probably doesn't have some of the attack investment either. But now I've got two Dragon Dances off. So he's worried He does a Volt Switch. I'm not sure what attack he's expecting. He might be expecting Outrage, but I anticipate the switch and just take out Deden with one hit. Now, that was a Shukaberry on that Deden, and that will be important later. Obviously, it's not important in this battle, because Deden's already gone, but at this point, I'll just put it on fast, because at this point, I end up sweeping. The only thing that gets somewhat interesting is he's now set up Electric Terrain. His Alolan Raichu is faster than Tyrantrum, but I'm behind the substitute, so I don't care. I get the Earthquake off. Gyarados does get an Intimidate, but Head Smash deals with it. So I bet he was expecting Outrage earlier when he sent out the Dead, and that's how I caught him off guard. But Tyrantrum did exactly what I wanted to do. Set up Sweep, deal with the Will-O-Wisp as it came, and win that way. So, that's what my opponent is going to be worried about in our next battle. I imagine he's probably not going to send out Gyarados first. He wants to save that for later. And he's going to be worried about Tyrantrum. We don't want to go fast here. So he sends out his Dracozolt first. I send out Duraludon. And here, actually, the choice stuff helps. Because as you can see already, I get off a Draco Meteor before Dracozolt gets to move. It's gone right away. Gyarados comes out. Now, I'm locked in Draco Meteor, so I switch to Klefki. I anticipate that he's going to start setting up, and so I get the Thunder Wave in as quickly as I can. He does get Earthquake off here. And at this point, I'm like, okay, he's going in with the Earthquake. I'm going to switch to Togedemaru again. But he anticipates it this time. And he instead uses Waterfall. And it's strong enough now, because that's neutral to me. Takes out everything, Sturdy chips in. And all I have are physical attacks, so I can't do much. I do get Zing Zap in for some chip damage. And here I'm going to try to set up with Tyrantrum again. But my opponent is ready. He immediately switches into Dead End. I do a Dragon Dance, and I try to go in with the Earthquake. But the Shukaberry helps it survive, and then Dazzling Gleam one-hit KOs me. I'm not expecting a Deden to be that strong. And it's obviously not, Life Orb or Choice Spect, because it had the Shukaberry. So that's some impressive special attack from a Deden. I was not prepared for that. So now I'm starting to play from behind a little bit here. He gets off a Nuzzle on the Aegislash, but I do get the kill in with Shadow Ball. Because again, remember, this is a special Aegislash for the most part. He sends in Pinchurin. Let's see. I want to see what Pinchurin's doing, so I think I do the stance change. Yep, Shield Form comes in. I think just the spikes come. Yeah, so he got a free spikes in. And this is where some luck starts to play in. I get paralyzed 3 turns in a row while trying to get off a Shadow Ball. And in the meantime, so he's got Memento. He's sending out Alolan Raichu for the speed. Again, I'm trying to get off a Shadow Ball here. But second turn in a row, I'm paralyzed. Third turn in a row, I'm paralyzed. So at this point, I do a King Shield. Thankfully, I'm not paralyzed. I get to lower his attack. And at that point, I'm like, screw it. I'm going to... Now that his attack is lowered, if he's going to come in with another Volt Tackle, or even another knockoff, I can tank it with Hydreigon. And I do... So at this point, I'm going to try to set up. Because this thing I'm imagining is not going to do much to me. Volt Tackle's not doing much. If he has a Psychic attack, it's not effective at all. So the speed of this guy doesn't worry me. I just want to set up at this point. So I do, but Play Rough comes in. Oh, so not set up. That's why I have to kill it. I think I set up... Not set up here, yeah. Roost comes in. Volt Switch. Yeah, I don't think I... Oh, that's right. This Hydreigon didn't have setup on it, did it? Yeah, because it was a Rooster. So I get Charge Beam off. It's almost a kill. I get this special attack boost. My opponent thinks it's game over. But Ice Fang freezes me. And I stay frozen solid. I don't fall out here. And unfortunately for me, he's not stayed paralyzed. So at this point, now I'm really starting to get worried. Because I've got a Choice Specs Duraludon, so I can't switch attacks with it. I've got a paralyzed quarter health Aegislash, and a Klefki that does no damage. So my thought right now is to send in Duraludon with my Choice Scarf, try to get the kill on Gyarados. If he does a switch right here, I'm in real trouble. Because then I have to basically sack something. So here's what happens. Duraludon comes out. I do get Thunderbolt off. Here comes Rotom-H. Now I was anticipating like an Overheat or something, but he actually probably didn't think of that. I'm not even sure if he has Overheat, because it's a bulky build. But he goes in with another Will-O-Wisp. Yes, he's trying to burn Duraludon, which I'm not sure about because he's seen it use special attacks. He uses Volt Switch to kill Aegislash, and at this point now, I'm just praying that I can 2H KO this thing with Draco Meteor, because that's probably the only way I can win. Now I resist Volt Switch, but I am worried about Overheat. Draco Meteor misses. But he uses Will-O-Wisp again. So I'm a little confused there. Again, still no Overheat. And it actually turns out, because that Volt Switch there did 28. So that would have been a 3H KO with Volt Switch. So I did, in theory, have time to get off the Draco Meteors that I needed to get this win. And fortunately I do, because if I had to send out Klefki, that was a loss. So you'll see me being very relieved that worked out. Despite the 3 paralysis in a row, the getting frozen, and the missed Draco Meteor, I do end up pulling out the win here. So I'm very relieved with this battle. And I believe this opponent has actually done pretty well in the league to date, even before and after this battle for him. So definitely a lot closer battle, and this actually ends up becoming a theme with a lot of my battles. My first battle with someone, I'm not sure if I take them off guard or if I just kind of go in with my primary strategy and get a strong victory in my first battle, and then try to think too hard and switch it up in the second battle, or they're more prepared in the second battle. I'm not sure which, but usually this is what happens. First battle, I do really well. Second battle, it's a lot more close. So yeah, I will be producing some more videos hopefully next week to show off some more battles. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.